let's try that again. And here's the final product. I chose silver because it basically looks like just metal, and I was hoping that it would just be pretty stealth and look cleaner than it was already. And like I said, we're planning to cut this off and run it into a twin pipe coming out the back, but this is gonna look much better than it had before. And the main thing that we're doing with everything with this car is preventing rust, because rust is bad. There we go. Super dark. Should do the trick, keeping that rust out. When we took off the liner, there's a lot of rust. So all through here, we have some surface rust, and eventually, I think I'm gonna come back and put in a whole new roof. They're not too hard to find, and I really like it just to be completely clean, but what we're doing today is we're gonna sand off all that rust, and we're gonna put down a little bit of primer, and then sound deadening is going on. So let's get it started. So as we saw in the last video, we had all these little points that were dripping down, and to me they looked like rust, but as I started to sand them and go through them, it looks like they're actually Bondo, and for whatever reason there was some holes that went through the roof. So you have one here, one back here in this corner, and then 4 up here. And I can't imagine that it would rust all the way through when the rest of it looks relatively clean. So for some reason, I think somebody drilled through it, and I couldn't tell you why, but again, we're gonna have to get rid of this roof at some point. It'll work for the time being, but no, not long term. Now the fun part. All right, so now that we got the roof cleaned up, which actually went a lot better than I thought it was going to, we're gonna put sound deadening. One of probably the worst part of these cars, second to rust, is just how loud they are. There's not really sound deadened much at all, so they're super loud, especially on the freeway. So this is going both on the floor and the roof. This particular one got off Amazon. It's Matte 66, but it's basically the same thing as Dynamat. This one is the 80 millimeter. A lot of them are 50, but I decided to go a little bit heavier. It weighs a little bit more, but I think its weight spent in a good way. So we're getting these installed. It's a really straightforward process. It's basically like a giant sticker. Best thing to do is to shape them before you even put them on. They're really easy to cut, and then you just peel it back like a sticker. Super easy. There we go. Just tuck it back in the corner, and then that way we cover up as much of the surface area as we can. Because this roof line actually goes a couple inches back, even though it's kind of hard to see. Also ignore this. So with this one, you can see it has all these little tiny bumps. So once you get it on, you're supposed to get a plastic roller or something like it, and basically just roll it back and forth, and that'll make sure that you get a good contact patch along the entire thing. crashed my last one of these. I was doing not even that fast, doing like 25, but it was enough to total the car. It tells you how fragile they are. But this motor is now running. It's kind of an oddball. It's the L26 out of the 260D with a 240 head. And we just went to a brand new alternator. So this is from the 280ZX, so it's internally regulated. And we topped it off with some coolant, put oil in it, and she's ready to start. I haven't heard this car in 2 years. Oh.
But I had to pull the coil to turn it off last time.
Right.
And I told you
so
that.
what did we do to make it so we could shut it off?
In here there's I added a diode into one of the signal wires.
Got it.
And that prevents the current from going back into the ignition.
Got it.
So now we're able to cut it off.
Hell yeah, man.
That worked.
I can't tell you how much I've messed steering this car. That's so sick.
It sounds really good.
All right. And just like that, the Z is running finally. This car has been off the road for over 2 years now, so I'm so stoked to have it running. We're adding in a wire throttle. The one that was there, it basically isn't working anymore, so we're adding a wire throttle. It should be really smooth and simple setup. Also, we're adding in a new clutch slave cylinder. So between those two things, next time I see it, this car should be able to move under its own power. All right, that's gonna be a wrap for today. Thank you guys all so much for watching and subscribing. Look out for a first drive video with this car, which I'm so stoked to do, but that'll be coming up soon, and also more progress on my brother's van and the dirt bike. See you next time.